Hi there. Happy Monday. It's time. So this is Dr. Shiroko, owner of Heart to Heart Medical Center and the author of the book Healing When It Seems Impossible: 7 Keys to Defy the Odds. And today I'm going to talk to you about why you should have a detox or cleanse, although cleanses are different than detoxes. This is a simple little presentation. And again, I'm Dr. Shiroko, owner of Heart to Heart Medical Center. And I'm going to talk to you about why you should do a seasonal, what I call a seasonal reboot or a cleanse, especially in spring. So here we go. So detoxes are short-term dietary changes that help reduce the intake of toxins. They support your body's natural ability to release toxins that are already there. Our bodies were designed perfectly to release toxins that are already there. But sometimes with the overloads of toxins in our environment, we have to help support them. So the seasonal reboot helps provide needed nutrients that help release the chemicals that are in your system. And I'm going to give you a little review of the ways that our bodies eliminate toxins that are already in place. And again, the reason that you do a seasonal reboot is to help support those systems. So our natural design is brilliant, and we were designed to release toxins completely every day. And the main component is the liver and the kidneys and the digestive tract and the skin and the lungs and the bladder. Each one of those systems have a way of detoxing naturally. So we have a lot of toxins in our everyday life, and that includes our pots and pans and and this is actually something that I think is really interesting. We don't have any regulation on our pots and pans, and we often have pots made of aluminum. We may not know that they're aluminum because they have a dark color. The non-stick pans, even cast iron has a lot of buildup of toxins because people don't clean them because there's these pores in there, and then bacteria get inside the pores, and then when you heat them up, those bacteria bubble up into your food. So it's important to get the right kind of cookware. Everybody uses plasticware everywhere when you're out and about, especially lately. Foods in restaurants are cooked in pots that aren't clean, and often not clean in terms of dirt, but not clean in terms of chemicals. And they use different kinds of oils that might be toxic. You can accumulate toxins sitting in traffic. Our home products have toxins. Our skincare and beauty products. Did you know that a lot of skincare products have gluten in them? If you're gluten sensitive, you should know that. And then there are heavy metals in our seafood and in some grains. And I just read recently that there's cadmium in flax seeds, which is just very disappointing. And of course, you've probably all heard that chocolate has cadmium and lead in it. And then the final thing is radiation exposure from various foods and our environment. And here are some of the symptoms that you might have when you're building up toxins. You might have trouble losing weight. You might have prediabetes or metabolic syndrome. You could get cancer. You could have chronic fatigue, infertility issues, allergies. Severe allergy symptoms can be connected to toxins. You could have behavior or mood disorders and neurological conditions like tremors or chronic headaches or problems concentrating or thinking. So there's a lot of symptoms that go along with having toxins in your system. I love doing a seasonal reboot right now in March because it's springtime, and springtime is the time of year that the liver is most active. And the liver is sort of the main organ of detoxification. And so I love to support detoxification in springtime because it's that time of year. I also like to do it in fall. Personally, I do my seasonal reboot in fall and in spring. And in fall, the lungs are the predominant organ, so that they can support detox in that way. And of course, our lungs regulate our immune system, And the liver regulates the smooth flow of energy in your whole body, does a whole bunch of other things, and it helps our body with detoxification. So that's why it's so important. There are 6 ways that we eliminate toxins: the colon, the lymphatic system, the lungs, the kidneys, your skin, and the liver. And so any way that you can support your system in elimination, you want to support those particular organs. So there are several strategies, but the first one is to encourage your body's ability to naturally eliminate toxins, of course. So that's what this detox is all about. And the gut microbiome is one of the key points. Is the gut and the microbiome help with nutrient absorption. They help healthy bacteria be in your guts and help with your digestion and your immunity. And it's really important to have a healthy gut lining to regulate your gut ability to absorb the nutrients that you absorb. So that's one of the reasons we support the gut. When we focus on the microbiome, one of the things people always ask me about is whether they should take probiotics. And really, the most important thing to having a healthy bacteria is a great digestive system and eating the right foods. So when you eat lots of vegetables and fiber and support your nervous system and your vagus nerve, which comes down here and helps regulate your digestive system, then you support your digestion being healthy, and you don't need to take probiotics. You want to eat probiotics, and you want to support your bacteria by eating prebiotics. So that's how you do that. And then the lymphatic system is the other part that helps our bodies with detoxification. And the lymphatic system is part of the circulatory system and the immune system, and that's where your immune system really regulates things. It produces the white blood cells that help your body fight off infections. It produces, it goes along with your veins and your arteries and travels in the same pathways as your veins and your arteries. It's not as easily visible because it doesn't have like a muscular vessel that it travels in. But it helps remove excess fluids from your body tissues. It helps absorb fats and helps transport fats, and it helps produce the immune cells that we use to fight off infections, as I've said, or to fight inflammation. And one of the key things about the lymphatic system is that because it doesn't have a sort of a natural pumping action, your muscles need to do the work. So you want to keep moving, use exercise and a rebounder or even a vibration plate. There's these great vibration plates that you can use. You want to sweat, you could do an infrared sauna or sauna to release things through your lymphatic system. There are lymphatic drainage supplements that you can take, and there's also this very simple thing that you can do with dry brushing, where you can get a brush with a natural bristle brush attached to a stick and then just brush your body before you take a shower and release some of the toxins. From the lungs, of course, the key points have to do with oxygen exchange and helping us breathe and function. It also, we inhale oxygen and we exhale carbon dioxide, which helps manage the body's acid-base balance, and it maintains the pressures within the system. And of course, breathing also excretes waste products. Things that help the lungs function better are doing breathing practices. There are all kinds of breathing practices. One very simple one is to breathe in for a count of 5, hold it for a count of 5, and let it out for a count of 5. To get outside, to go to the beach, to go out into nature anywhere and absorb the fresh air and the nutrients of the environment. And of course, you want to pay attention because the air in our homes is actually maybe one of the more toxic places. So you want to pay attention to circulation in your home. So if the air is clean, you want to open your windows and let air circulate and allow that exchange of energy so you're not breathing in the toxins at home. The kidneys, of course, process 200 quarts of blood every day, and they get rid of waste products and remove toxins. And the kidneys remove acid that's produced by the cells in the body, and that helps us maintain. You want to be on a slightly alkaline acid-base balance, and they help maintain a balance of water and salt and minerals as well. And the keys to helping support your kidneys is to drink plenty of water, eat high antioxidant fruits, dark, colorful fruits. I always say eat the rainbow, but on the brightly colored spectrum is helpful for the kidneys. And then there are herbs that help support the kidneys as well, like stinging nettle and burdock root, which is also incidentally helpful for the the liver. The skin acts as a filter to the kidneys by removing waste from the blood as well. So when other organs are congested, that's when you get rashes and your body's trying to push out toxins. So when your skin looks shiny and bright and is smooth and soft, that is a sign that it's good health, and it's a good barometer of the health of your body. Everything we put on our skin, we absorb. So if you put on lotions or soaps that are full of toxins or chemicals, and you're going to absorb those into your body and they will affect you. So you want to make sure you have non-toxic personal and beauty products, and you want to be able to sweat to release toxins from your skin. And then the liver, of course, is my biggie. Its job is to detoxify, and it's the filter. So all nutrients that you eat are absorbed through your small intestine and then sent to the liver, where they're detoxified and processed and sent to the rest of your body. So our liver assures that the metabolism of carbohydrates and nutrients is done, and it also helps produce bile so that we can continue our digestive process. The liver stores various vitamins and carbohydrates, so it stores energy and makes it available for us when we need it. So many functions that the liver has, really. And you want to, in terms of helping the liver be happy and healthy, besides doing a seasonal reboot, you want to avoid heavy drinking or drug use. If you take a lot of medications, you want to, again, periodically detox your liver so that it can manage the toxins that it's working with. You want to eat an anti-inflammatory diet and use organic foods and not take in toxins as much as possible. And you want to manage your blood sugar and triglyceride levels, because that will also affect the liver. And when needed, you want to take some liver support supplements. So the second strategy is to decrease your toxic load. So that's by not taking things in, right? And you want to think about toxins as like a bucket. So your body has the natural capacity to detoxify, as we've said over and over again already. But the more you fill the bucket with toxins, the more you have issues. So then your skin breaks out, you may have trouble breathing, you may get allergy symptoms, and all of the things we've already talked about, like weight loss or weight gain, that you can't seem to manage. So when you detoxify, then you empty the bucket, and you give the bucket some support in emptying, like you help the bucket have a hole punched in it so it can keep emptying out. Here's a list of like some of the toxins that we get exposed to in our environment, and some things that we just need to manage. And like I said, so many toxins are in our food already. Anything that's wrapped in plastic is absorbing that plastic. So like, for example, when you buy nut butter, if it's in a jar that's plastic, the fat that's in the nut butter is interacting with the plastic in the jar. And so you're getting toxins that way. If you're eating seafood, you might be absorbing mercury or other heavy metals. The ocean has toxins. When you're at a gas station, if you pump gas, maybe put on gloves so that you don't absorb what is on the gas pump already. And then if you take your clothing to dry cleaners, then you're getting those toxins. Like, it's just never ending. If you're in a neighborhood where maybe you have an HOA and they might be spraying your neighborhood with Roundup, you might ask to make sure that they're not, and ask them to stop doing that if they are, and find a way to naturally eliminate weeds and bugs from your neighborhood. So many, many things that you can think about. When you have a lot of toxins, you get a lot of inflammation. And so pain and inflammation are one of the main symptoms of toxins having built up in your body. And we talk a lot about what foods you eat so that foods are not inflammatory, but it's also about not absorbing toxins so that you can have the food be less inflammatory. So when your cells have inflammation, then you can't absorb the nutrients that you need and the hormones that you need, and then the toxins can't get out. And it's this vicious cycle where you can't absorb the things that you need, you can't get rid of the toxins, and your cells get more inflamed, and then you have more inflammation, and it just keeps going and going. So you want to stop that process by not absorbing toxins. And then you have different kinds of inflammation. You have acute inflammation, which could be like an allergic reaction or an injury when you fall, or an infection where your hand gets swollen after you get a cut or a burn. So things that cause immediate inflammation. And then you have chronic inflammation that's like cardiovascular disease or a tremor or nervous system things or arthritis or fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue syndrome, things like that that are signs of chronic inflammation. And by doing a reboot, a seasonal reboot every year or twice a year, you kind of minimize the ability of chronic inflammation to build up. So the goal is to reduce our toxic load. And this is a complicated picture of all of the steps in detoxification, which I am not going to go over right now, but just suffice it to say that when you do a detox, all of these steps are supported by the nutrients that you take in with the seasonal reboot. And that's one of the reasons that I offer the type of detox that I do, because it supports all these steps and makes sure that the body has the tools that it needs to do these steps. Now, the first hack is to go organic. And here's just a little list of things that, what's the difference between foods that are organic versus non-GMO. So when there's no GMOs, that's the only thing that's guaranteed. It doesn't mean that they're getting not getting antibiotics, that they're not getting hormones, that they're not using chemicals. It just means that their seeds are not GMO. So, and when they're organic, then all of those things are guaranteed. There's a great website called the Environmental Working Group. It's called ewg.org. And they give you a list of the dirty dozen. So every year that changes the foods that have the most toxins on them. And you should never eat those not organic. So strawberries and spinach, which are very popular foods, you should make sure that when you get those kinds of foods that you don't buy them even non-GMO. You want them only organic so that you're not getting the toxins. And then there's the Clean 15. These are foods that even if you eat them not organic, then you'll be pretty safe, that you're not absorbing a bunch of stuff from them. So avocados is one that you can eat not organic. They say mushrooms, but I always go for organic mushrooms because mushrooms are kind of like a sponge. They absorb the toxins that are in the soil. So even if there's not currently any chemicals being sprayed on the plant, mushrooms absorb a lot of toxins from the environment as well. In fact, they're used to clean up toxic spills and things like that because they absorb things so well. So you want to minimize the intake of harmful substances, and you do that by eating lean meats. Avoid foods that have plastic or chemicals or sulfites or artificial sweeteners or food coloring. And I don't know if you've seen this with children, but children have become extremely sensitive to toxins. And one of the things I've noticed is even if they eat like a candy that has food coloring or some kind of coloring in it, they can react. So it may not even be just the sugar that they're reacting to. If you eat any meats, you should try to go for organically grown You want not to eat canned foods because there's a plastic liner in most cans, or you're getting aluminum. You want to use clean pans. You want to peel the skin on produce if it has it, and you want to use filtered water, and you want to not eat foods that have damage. So you want to eat your foods, especially your fresh foods, fresh. And then you want to make sure that there's organic cosmetics, and you want to look at the ingredients in your cosmetics. A lot of my patients who are super, super clean in their diet, and they're like, and then when they do a test for like gluten sensitivity, it'll show that they're really reacting, and they think that they're not eating any gluten at all, but your skin absorbs gluten. And even there's even some skincare lines that are organic or clean, supposedly, and they have gluten in them. So you want to just make sure about that. You want to use cleaning products. And you want to eat particular foods that help you with detoxification. And I always say, eat a rainbow every day. And so just make sure like any fresh fruits and vegetables that you eat are all different colors, and that you get those colors because it helps your body with its detoxification. So how food plays a role, of course, is that it helps bring toxins in, and then you want to so by eating a rainbow, you're supporting phase 1, you're protecting your body, you're supporting phase 2, and you're letting toxins out by eating the right kinds of foods. So I'm going to give you the features of a seasonal reboot / detox that I support people with. And of course, you want to eliminate the foods that can be triggers for toxins. So eggs are listed here, or shown here in this picture. And for some people, people are allergic to eggs. Actually, a fair number of people. But if you're not allergic to eggs, they are not included on this thing. Like, I'm allergic to eggs, so I can't eat them. But you want to eliminate breads and grains and seafood that's high in mercury. You want to eliminate foods that have been sprayed with pesticides, etc. And you want to support the liver function. You want to eat clean and organic foods and high in phytonutrients, and you want to take targeted antioxidants. And it is not calorie specific to do a really good detox. You actually need to eat, you need to have calories in order to detoxify. So fasting is not a good way to detoxify, because all of the toxins that are in your system, if you start fasting and you start, they can be released from your system, and you can start to have sort of like a detox flu. But if you eat clean, organic foods and you take those excuse me, nutrients in, then you will actually tolerate a detox better. So you don't want to be low calorie or no calorie. And you want to balance hormone metabolism. When you have the right kind of detox, it will help support your hormone metabolism. And there are lots of different ways of doing detoxes. You can use chelation, a cellular detox program, supplements that detoxify, colonic cleanses, food cleanses, all kinds of things. And I like to keep it simple so that it doesn't take too much time and energy, which is why I have created my seasonal reboot, which keeps it very, very, very simple. All you have to do is take 2 shakes a day and 2 little packets of supplements that provide you with all the nutrients that you need. It supports your liver. It gives you some calories. It has some organic greens in it and organic vegetable powders. And you do 2 shakes a day, and you do 1 clean meal a day, or some people do 2 clean meals a day. And it's so simple that all you need to do is really just follow the seasonal reboot, and it'll help you do everything that your body wants to do. And I also have an app that's my Dr. Shiroko's Seasonal Reboot app. So you can get the cleanse, the Seasonal Reboot program, And you can also do the app to follow it, and it'll give you some goals, and it'll help you with some exercises, and it helps you with weight, a 7-day workout, and breath work training, and some other things that will help you feel better with the detox. So you can just there's all kinds of information on the Seasonal Reboot app that you can use. It shows you how to breathe, it shows you how to exercise, and then you take the Seasonal Reboot, like I said, 2 shakes a day and 2 packets of supplements. And here are the ingredients, which you can come back to. It's very, very simple. All you have to do is sign up. You can take action right now to sign up for it. Here is the app, or the link to click, and it'll take you to the sales page, or to the page where you can order the Seasonal Reboot. Okay, I hope that this was helpful to you and that you got information that was useful, and I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon.